Hello, this is Lada from Radiant Yin. And today I'm coming to you with a new video called Authenticity and New Humanity. And I could also say authenticity as a timeline of love. First of all, I would really like to thank you for getting engaged and writing your truth into the comments and reaching out. So this is becoming a conversation and I love it. And thank you so much for taking time to express yourself. And I would also like to say that, you know, not everything that I say must resonate with me. And I, as a person, might not resonate with you, and that's completely okay. So if this doesn't resonate, you can just, as I've heard recently, check it in the fuck it bucket. I love it. It's become my amusement. Check it in the fuck it bucket. If something doesn't resonate, let it go. And, you know, we've always worked in frequency, but more and more, we're moving into the frequency of resonance and alignment. So there is so much out there, so many people. And, you know, the teaching and consciousness is in many layers. And so my teaching might resonate with you in one layer and then it won't, or the other way around. Maybe you have come across me many times and it was like, I fucking can't stand this chick. And then you move some energy, you will have a life experience, and suddenly you'll be like, holy smokes, where is that chick? She was talking to something that I'm experiencing now. And I went through this, and I'm also going through this. Believe me, there's some amazing teachers in many fields, not only spiritual, that I follow, and sometimes my first reaction to them wasn't that positive. It was triggering. So often it can be that somebody triggers us first massively before we can have them. The energy has to get triggered so we can release it and we can step into that next layer of ourselves. And please keep commenting, keep saying hello. I just totally love it. So let's go back to the topic today. Authenticity and new humanity and the timeline of love. For those of you who know me, you know that I teach a lot about authenticity. And also I talk a lot about timelines. And when we say timeline of love, for some of us, many of us, it can be like, oh, another love and lighter, another person who's gonna tell me I just gotta love, I just gotta invalidate my experience and just everything is positive. Well, I'm not one of those people. Believe me. And people who know me, I've been told that I'm radically honest. Radical honesty is my way of being. It's not always appreciated. However, you know, some of us are here to be truth tellers. And when I talk about truth, I don't mean some dogma, some capital truth, like this truth to follow. That's a guru idea of spirituality, that spirituality as control. Religion, right, has often just this one truth we gotta follow. I'm not talking about our truth. What is my truth in this moment? And if I can be authentical about it and authentically express it, then I'm in my timeline of love. Because timeline of truth is timeline of love, which is also timeline of authenticity. So let me speak to this a little bit. One of the real plagues of spirituality became what we can call love and lighting. Love and lighting, spiritual bypassing. So something happens in our lives and we have a genuine reaction. It triggers something in us. It can be sadness, it can be anger, it can be a frustration. However, because we have all this information about love and timelines and stay positive, we're going to invalidate it, right? And we're going to be like, no, I can't express my anger. It's just fine. I've already forgave them, right? So somebody just hurt you, somebody gaslit you, somebody betrayed you, like yesterday. and you're already moving on and you have forgiven them. That is exactly what's called spiritual bypassing. Let me reframe that. Just because we, let's say, know spiritually, like this is where we're gonna get to, or our soul is all forgiving, or we're here on earth to learn to forgive. Yes, absolutely. We also have physical body. We are these spiritual beings in physical bodies, and we are here to experience feelings. We are here to experience situations we otherwise just can't experience. And so kind of jumping into the, well, I'm just gonna forgive, even though like I'm hurting, I'm angry, I haven't gone through any stages, let's say, of grieving of this situation, but I'm just gonna jump to this kind of love and light idea, or myself, this is who I wanna be, so I'm just gonna pretend I'm it. That creates dissociation. And that dissociation has a price. It has a price. We have to abandon parts of ourselves to be this version that we think we need to be. So authenticity really is being genuine about who you are, where you're at. And the more authentic we can be, the more we can embrace all parts of ourselves. I absolutely don't believe in positive and negative emotions. I just read a great book, Men Are from Mars and Women Are from Venus, and I know it's an old book, but this was my time to read it because now I could really have it. And I just love it, everything about the differences. But this idea, they're positive and negative emotions, right? And that creates a mindfuck in our head. So if I feel this, like if I feel joy, if I feel love, if I feel enthusiasm, those are positive emotions. And if I feel sadness, if I feel anger, if I feel frustration, if I feel envy, jealousy, those are negative. So already by that, we start putting them in the shadow. It's not that you stop feeling them, but what you have to start doing is dissociating from them. So whenever that emotion rises up, you're going to stop it, block it, usually with the mind, with the judgment. And that emotion is not going anywhere. It stays in your body, but now it's a shadow emotion. And the more you do it, the more actually you convince yourself you don't feel that. A very great example that I really came across mostly here in the United States. So I lived in 5 countries, and for the past 6 or 7 years I've been living in the United States. And I really learned about passive aggression. That's something I wasn't really that familiar with until I moved here. And that is the whole judgment around anger. So people are not meant to feel anger. Anger is bad. There's a lot of spiritual judgment on anger. And so because people, and mostly women, are not allowed to feel it. And if you're a spiritual woman, then doubly so. You definitely shouldn't feel anger, right? Every time anger rises, you're going to stop it. You're going to spiritualize it, mentally explain it. Oh, it's not that bad. I shouldn't be feeling it, whatever is the inner process. And it's often very unconscious at this point, right? So then you can't express it. So let's say your friend did something that really angered you, and she's crossing your boundaries, or he's crossing your boundaries constantly, and you're not communicating, you're love and lighting it, you're trying to meet them. If you're empathic like me, you're really good at it. I always say I twist myself in little pretzels or big pretzels. But the anger didn't go anywhere. So then whenever you are around this person, you already are on alert. The anger is in you. And so it's going to start coming out in what we can say passive ways. So it's not expressed honestly, it's not expressed genuinely, it's not being communicated. So then you're going to maybe start belittle that friend. Maybe, you're going to do these little comments, right, that feel like jabs. Jab, 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 jab. You start ignoring that friend, stonewalling. And I'm like, no, I'm not angry. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. So that is really like one of many ways that anger is expressed, we can say, unhealthily, indirectly. Doesn't make it any less angry. It just means it's more toxic now. And I would say that's why there's so much toxicity in spiritual circles. And I know a lot of very grounded, amazing, naturally spiritual people. And when I say spiritual, I mean just connected to spirit. You're connected to spirit. We're all spiritual beings that just want to stay away from any kind of spiritual circles because they're so toxic. And I really understand that. I've been to spiritual circles where the dynamics between people were so unhealthy. There was so much anger ran through each other, so much sexual energy without any boundary ran through each other. But whenever it got addressed, the person who addressed it, right, the whistleblower, they're the bad ones. There's something wrong with them. So I really get it. I really understand that. And so authenticity is when you can be genuine about who you are, what you're feeling, what you think. And of course, we need to learn how to express these things healthily. And that just doesn't happen overnight, since this was suppressed in us for a very long time, right? We were told there's something wrong with what we feel. There's something wrong with who we are. And so another kind of spiritually bypassy love and light idea is that you can go from one extreme to complete healthy to the center. It doesn't work like that. Spiritual growth is more like a pendulum. So let's say you're at one extreme, like you're a people pleaser, you completely lose yourself. Your energy is always focused on others and pleasing others because you don't feel safe within yourself. You will probably go to the other extreme for a while. Yeah, it might almost look a bit narcissistic. And be like, well, I just gotta have my boundaries. I need to put myself first. What am I feeling? Not taking responsibility for other people's feelings. I would say that's actually really healthy. And then when you're for a while like here, and you might kind of go in between, right? Because the pendulum swings. It doesn't just stop. So you might start noticing you're kind of going less and less to the extreme, to the point where you can find the center, being more in your center, which is like, whoa, I can have my boundaries and there are also other people around me, right? I can express my feelings and it's also my responsibility how I express them. So the best I can do is try my best to express them healthily, and then it's not my responsibility how the other person reacts to it, how they take it. So growth is like a pendulum, right? Don't be too hard on yourself. I've been on this journey for such a long time, and I'm learning every day. And who you're really learning about is yourself. The only person we're here to heal is ourselves. And what we call in intuitive work is out of control healer. So what is an out of control healer? It's a person that has healing skills, maybe even studied, and maybe they're even teaching, they're guiding. However, they're not looking into themselves. They're not self-reflecting. They don't do the shadow work, right? That's the uncomfortable part. It's really looking into ourselves. And so what they're going to be doing is then they're going to be jumping on everybody, trying to heal them, trying to help them, literally out of control, often not asked, to try to fix in them what they're not healing in themselves. That's called out of control healing, right? So it is our job. It is our job to know who we are, know thyself, and work with that. And the more authentic you're gonna be, you're not gonna be pleasing people. So it's something to also understand, that the more you are yourself, your frequency is very, we can say, unique, very specific. And on that level of authenticity, not many people vibrate, right? And then you have your vibration. And it can be pretty scary, because in the beginning it seems like people are falling off from your life, right? And you had all these friends or these people, and suddenly it seems like your relationships might be a little bit on the edge, and there might be more misunderstanding. And just look at it, it's like a diamond, right? Like the rock, becomes a diamond under pressure. It just doesn't, it's not just lying there in the ground and suddenly becomes a diamond. That's another spiritual love and light bypassing picture. The diamond is created under pressure. Right? So you can look at it this way, like the more you're becoming yourself, the more authentic you're becoming, the more you're clear about your boundaries, right? And there's a big tool that not many people still use, and it's a no. No is a tool, and a no is a full sentence. So the more you can kind of go there, you start vibrating more and more in your frequency. And that's something that becomes very magnetic. And that's when you can start seeing and attracting other people on that frequency. And again, not always love and light. You might attract somebody, you totally sit on your frequency, but they might not be ready to meet you, or you might not be ready to meet them. So maybe look at it less as a distillation. Oh, when I'm going to get there, it's always going to be honky-dory. Another love and light picture. It's still life. We're still learning. There's still light and dark and shadow, right? So life will always show us the more authentic we are, what is lying in our shadow. Yeah, so that's the authenticity. And one more thing I would like to add without going for too long. I kind of really dived in this weekend into something I haven't really watched or followed for a long time, because I'm not on social media anymore, and it was one of the best decisions I made in a long time. And I was never big on it anyway, so it felt really like I was just trying to hold on to something because I got programmed. But that's the only way we can these days communicate or promote our teaching, our business. And for me, it was just really big energy leak. And I've never, I was on dating apps just for a little bit during COVID, because it was the only way really to meet somebody. And I can tell you the dating scene was busy during COVID. Also, many situationships were created. But I kind of missed the whole filter and AI thing. And I started seeing a few years ago some of my friends getting Botox and fillers, and I've been always a big promoter of just aging naturally. I would say plastic surgery has really its place because it can help a lot. But when it comes to invalidating how we look like, how we age, who we are, and trying to kind of fake alter it based on some standard that was given, that's not aligned with me. Okay, and I'm saying not aligned. I'm not saying I'm criticizing it or I'm judging it. It's something that is just not aligned with my frequency. And so as I've been watching a lot of geological stuff and what's happening really on the whole planet, I kind of stumbled on some really interesting videos from Hollywood and Paris Fashion Week. And I love fashion. I used to go to London Fashion Week when I lived there. It was really alarming. It was so alarming. And talking about authenticity, somebody said a beautiful thing. It's almost like catfishing, right? Like people put these versions of themselves on social media with filters, and now apparently AI can make you look perfect. But then imagine you're gonna meet that person in real life. It's like catfishing. It's like, who are you, right? And so talking about authenticity, it's part of it too, just being authentically, not only kind of from the inside out, but also allowing our outsides to be authentic. And I've been coming across that more and more, and I didn't understand why. And I finally understood this morning when I saw this amazing video on YouTube, how much reflection I'm getting from people. And man, they're like, wow, you're natural. I'm like, yes, I am natural. I have wrinkles and I'm 44. I'm not hiding my age. I'm very proud of it. It's a lot of experience. And so I'm proud of my age. And but now I'm starting to understand in the word of so much inauthenticity and I would say in acceptance of who we are, how we look, how we age, it's becoming actually more and more appreciated, those of us who are authentic, right? And my mom, she's 70, and she suddenly is single after many years. She was with much younger boyfriend, where she was really putting a lot of pressure on herself to look a certain way. And she was really thinking about doing some plastic surgery around her eyes and stuff like that. And then when she was really sitting with it, she realized, like, why? Like, I actually do look good for my age. I eat well. She's still working. She loves her work. And just seeing her accept herself, when she already had an agreement with the surgeon. And even the surgeon was telling her, in your age, there can be a lot of complications, and you really don't look bad at all. You actually look really well. And so it made her sit with it, and also then talking to me. And like, I'm going to support you in anything you do, but are you sure this is something you want to do? Because I didn't really see it was her energy in her space. It was that kind of pressure from the outside, and we're being told how we need to look like, right? And just watching her to go through this growth period around being with it, having the money for it, having the appointment, then sitting with it, meditating with it, and then choosing to just accept herself. And she looks 10 years younger just because of it. She's radiant. And she confirmed it. She's like, it just made me really go deeper and realize, like, no, like, if I'm not gonna love myself now, when am I? I'm 70. I don't have that much time on this earth left. Do I want to spend it by doing surgeries and spending 6 months with headaches? And this is we can stop this anytime. If you're watching this and you're one of the people who really got programmed by this, don't judge yourself for it. The agenda out there is really intense, how we should look like. But just know you can stop this anytime. You don't need to just follow down the rabbit hole. Self-love is a journey, and we need to practice it every day. Every day loving ourselves. And a couple of years ago, I really cleaned my act, and I stopped partying, and started sleeping more again, and working out every day. And somebody told me, like, whoa, you look so great now. And I'm like, like, my self-love is not conditioned by how much I weigh, or if I'm tanned or not, or if I fit this clothes or I don't. I just feel like I'm confident no matter what. I learned to love myself no matter what. And this person said, well, now you can be confident. And it kind of just stuck with me, right? Because this person thinks that they're very spiritually conscious or developed. But whenever we're gonna condition our self-love or our confidence with anything external, and honestly, mostly as women, for those of us who are watching this, we're women, damn, we know, like, even with menstruation, like, we retain so much more, and then in perimenopause, and then in menopause, and our bodies change, and it's a constant practice of self-love. And in the past, it was mostly on women, but now it's on men. I know men use fillers. Men do Botox. I've heard that men are breaking their legs to be taller, and they're doing like penis extensions and stuff like that. Ouch. So at this point, we're pretty much on that boat together. But what it is also creating is there's more and more people, more and more humans that just appreciate realness and authenticity. And the more each of us can vibrate at that, our authenticity, our realness, including our real emotions, real thoughts, and just the way we look like, for real. No filters, no AI, not trying to perfect ourselves, but being like genuinely homegrown human, it's pretty amazing, the connections that we're starting to have with other people. And we often have to learn in contrast. Like this idea that if I'm always successful, if you were always successful, how you would appreciate success? The times when you're not successful, the times where you failed, the times when you were rejected, the times somebody ghosted you, that make you appreciate way more when you have that success, when somebody doesn't ghost you, when somebody genuinely shows up for you, and all that. So just notice, right, that each of those failures, we can say, every time life didn't give us what we wanted or what we desired, it actually taught us first to be more humble, right? It's good for the ego to fail sometimes. But also when then the success comes, or the person who really appreciates you comes, you can genuinely appreciate it. Yeah. So thank you for watching this video until the end. This is Lada from Radiant Yin, and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye.